Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise and welcome to the Park. This is R22, the National Premier League Queensland competition. It is Peninsula Power taking on Redlands United.
Good evening and welcome to the final day of the NPL Queensland's regular season All 6 games kicking off at 6 p.m. with the top 6 still an unpredictable mix. Peninsula Power hosts Redlands United as it's the home sides to lose. Currently sitting inside the top 6, a positive result today is the way to guarantee a spot in September. Here's how either side will line up. For Peninsula Power, Lockie Hunter will start in goals. Aaron Opendisano keeps his starting position. Brendan Fox and Kane Gibbs will operate the midfield along with Joseph Hitchcock, and Malachi Love Samira will be the main attacking threat up front for the team in blue. As for Redlands United, they have named Ryan Govan in goals after missing out last weekend. Angus Broderick is welcome back into the starting lineup as well. Gil Santana will start up front with Rio Emoto, Jack Skinner and Dean Alterio all playing their part in Redlands' final third. As we see our officials for this evening's match, the fourth official is Brenton Learopoulos, and the 2 assistants, Benjamin Orwell and Matthew Connor, as Jack Powers will be the main referee tonight. Of course, we are here at AJ Kelly Park. Weather conditions 18 degrees with light clouds clearing into the night. Sunset was at 5:33 p.m, so just moments ago. And the anticipation is building here at AJ Kelly Park. Of course, the 2 managers this evening, Aaron Philp of Peninsula Power and Daniel Varma of Redlands United. Top 6 ramifications here tonight, as every game across the NPL this evening all plays its role in deciding the setup in September. Round 22 is ready to rock and roll, as by 8 p.m. tonight we will know exactly who has the opportunity to fight for a dressing room at Suncorp Stadium for the grand final. It's Power who have all the power, as Redlands will want nothing less than 3 points in their last league game for 2023. As Darcy Madden launches it forward, and Peninsula Power, of course, in their blue and white kit, running from left to right. Get us started as they find a touch on the ball. A very important night for them. And Redlands will be looking to finish off season 2023 as strong as they possibly can, as Emoto goes back to Dylan Brent. And that's a lovely flick over the top from Michael Lee. As Max Alenga finds himself in some space. And Alterio can't quite find Santana. And now Peninsula Power play out of trouble through Fox and Gibbs. So a 4-horse race turned into 6 yesterday, as Football Queensland announced that the final series will receive a shake-up in season 2023. And while it isn't the familiar of the past, it certainly makes things very intriguing for not only Peninsula Power, but many sides on the table. As we see a header here from Joseph Hitchcock to get Peninsula Power started as they look to steamroll their way into the finals. An early start and an early goal for Hitchcock. Just getting the last touch on the delivery and making it 1-0 for Peninsula Power.
Peninsula Power 1, Redlands United 0.
An early goal to really set things up for the home side. As I mentioned yesterday afternoon, they would have fallen out of their chairs when they heard the news that 4 turned into 6, meaning they just sit on the cusp. They sit on the cutoff. And Brisbane City, I'm sure, were also breathing a sigh of relief as the final day was highly anticipated due to so many sides having the opportunity to potentially make the top 4 depending on results. But that all changed, and now Peninsula Power, despite them sitting in the 6, it wasn't a foregone conclusion. They really do need a win here tonight just to ensure they do feature in September, and that is the best possible way to start. It doesn't get much better than that. And of course, the side who can really cause some headaches is Rochdale Rovers for Peninsula Power. If they don't get the result ticking their way tonight, Rochdale host Gold Coast Knights at Underwood Park, and they sit in 7th, and they are only 1 point behind Peninsula Power. However, the 3 points tonight will guarantee Power of a spot in September, and that's what they have done here. Not quite yet, but the start certainly indicating that that's the road they wish to travel as Emoto gets away. Here's Dylan Brent making a bursting run up the touchline. We know that from Dylan Brent. He has a massive engine sitting in that right fullback role. He scored the winner against Rochdale Rovers in the FQPL1 Grand Final last year. It was an enthralling contest, end to end. Rochdale Rovers held a 2-goal lead. But thanks to a mighty comeback from Redlands United and a Dylan Brent winner, in the final moments of that match, Perry Park was absolutely buzzing, as it was a sensational curtain raiser for what was to come in the NPL Grand Final. Of course, Gold Coast Knights taking that one out. They have also taken out the premiership. So while the title race is done and dusted, certainly the finals is up for grabs. Now we see Rio Emoto getting into his work. That's a lovely ball for Alterio. In the end, it runs out of gas, that attack. And just an interesting stat relating to Rochdale Rovers and Redlands, as they both got promoted into the NPL's Queensland this season. They met in round 3 and round 14. And Rio Emoto opened the scoring in the first half in that round 3 match. However, Rochdale Rovers came away 2-1 winners. And then again in round 14, Rochdale knocked off Redlands 3-1. Lee scored Redlands' only goal, as Alex Warillo sealed the 3 points for the Rovers in the 91st minute. So they had the wood over them in season 2022 in the FQPL1. However, it just wasn't to be in the NPL for Redlands, as they do sit in 9th spot. Of course, 21 games played. They've picked up 26 points, 7 wins, 5 draws, and 9 losses. And they have a goal difference of 1 as it stands. Coming into tonight, however, after that goal, it's now back to an even keel of 0. However, the important thing to note is they are not relegated. They don't have the chance of being relegated, as they've done well to stay up this season. It's always hard making the jump, and that's something they've done this year, as we see Santana making a forward run. Gil Santana wasn't afraid to shoot. Lockie Hunter getting low to the ground and picking things up for his side. Of course, Lockie Hunter reached 3 straight NPL Queensland Grand Finals with Olympic. That was 2020, 21 and 22. So he knows how to get very deep into September, does Lockie Hunter. Used to playing at the pointy end of the season. Of course, made the switch this season to Peninsula Power. And had some outstanding performances for the Power throughout season 2023. Here's Jamil Roberts. Looking for Malachi Love, Samira. That's dealt with well by Redlands as Skinner gets the ball forward for Santana. Now Skinner. Some lovely play between Santana and Skinner as Broderick looking to get around his opposite number in Opi Desano. And it will be a corner for Redlands. Angus Broderick. Just didn't have it in him to beat the defence, but they do pick up a corner. Rio Amoto makes the long walk as he's ready to fire things in, and there's plenty of goals being fired in at the moment all around the NPL. Olympic have the lead against Eastern Suburbs as this ball from Rio Amoto not quite on the mark. Between Gold Coast United taking the lead and the goal here on the Peninsula. It's all happening. Of course, you can catch every game live and free on FQTV. Michael Lee going back to James Pearcey, and he put him under a fair bit of pressure, did Michael Lee. It was Malachi Love Samira who was right on his tail, and in the end Pearcey was forced into giving away the foul as Peninsula Power want to get right back on the attack. They already have one to their name, and again they go aerial. Malachi Love Samira standing on the top of the 6-yard box, but it's Ryan Govan who plucks it from the air and launches it forward. Dean Alterio was the furthest forward for Redlands. As that's a lovely turn from Fox. Sam Cronin has an open goal and he makes it count. Sam Cronin doubles the lead for Peninsula Power as they are on a good thing to start things off on this Saturday night.
Peninsula Power 2, Redlands United 0.
We'll talk about controlling the controllables. Peninsula Power are doing that in spades right now. 2-0 to start things off, and it's been goals from Josa Hitchcock and Sam Cronin. We've got things ticking for Peninsula Power. Of course, they do have it all to play for. As I mentioned, they sit 6th. Only 6 clubs will make their way into September. And at the moment, they certainly look to be making their case. And things will get tricky if Redlands do manage to mount a comeback and Rochelle Rovers cause an upset. As we get down to the final moments of the 90 minutes, it's not the healthiest goal difference for Peninsula Power. They only have a goal difference of 2. Rochelle Rovers have 1 more in 3. And Brisbane City, who sit in 5th, have a goal difference of 13. So a little way off the pace there, Peninsula Power. Of course, that was all before tonight kicked off. If we do the maths on the run, then Peninsula Power now have a goal difference of 4. And that's a little healthier. As Gibbs gets a boot involved. Hitchcock reluctantly plays it to Jamil Roberts. It was almost as if Hitchcock was looking for another option, but in the end he played his wide man in. Jamil Roberts won an NCAA Division 1 National Championship with Marshall University in 2020. Quite the achievement on the young man's resume. Of course, now he finds himself on the Peninsula. And he's been a very good player for Power all year too. Offering a point of difference down that left-hand edge as Cronin thought about it and decided to take it on, did Sam Cronin. Not one of his better shots. Sam Cronin, of course, he got the second just moments ago. He's full of confidence, I am sure. Rio Amoto gets things going for Redlands. Hunter pulls off the save. It lands at the feet of Jack Skinner. And Lockie Hunter, here it is on the replay. We'll watch this again. Falling to his left, punching it away. That's why Power brought him to the club. As Sam Cronin, I think he's on side. Malachi Love Samira was waiting for the ball. And Brenton Fox made the run straight through the heart of the penalty area. That's where Sam Cronin opted to go for. Michael McGowan was hoping for a run made by Opid Tassano, but in the end it landed with Redlands. However, they have the ball back here, Peninsula Power, and they have the free kick to go with it. Solomon Weldemariam claims the foul. His opening 17 minutes have absolutely whizzed by. Hitchcock got us going in the 3rd minute it was. Talk about fast starts. Olympic are on 1-2. And these teams did meet back in round 11. It was a bit of a different story. Redlands 0, Peninsula Power 0. It was, of course, at Compass Grounds. And I tell you what, it was a fiery finish in that one. The final half an hour really took some turns. As Skinner floats it in from the free kick, and they want a corner to go with it. Do Redlands. In the end, it will be a goal kick. There was a few controversial calls happening throughout that round 11 match. However, neither side could break the deadlock, and they had to share the points in the end. Very different story here in the opening exchanges, however. Already got 2 on the board, and both teams looking like they're wanting to play and put their best foot forward. It's Kane Gibbs. Picks out Roberts. And now Fox couldn't bring the ball under his spell. Alterio made the run. He may have been a little too early in chasing that ball down, however, the referee's flag wasn't required as Lockie Hunter picked it up. Well, outside of his goal mouth, that's for sure. A few players in form tonight. Jossa Hitchcock and Hayden McHenry named in the Match Week 21 Team of the Week. McHenry sitting on the bench tonight. He's an NPL All-Star and of course signed from Brisbane City, so handy to have that calibre of player sitting on the bench for Aaron Philp. And for Redlands United, it was Rio Omoto and Dylan Brent who were also named in Round 21's Team of the Week. So notable efforts for the bunch of boys. For Power, it was against Moreton Bay United, and Brisbane Royal Youth is who Redlands faced off in round 21. As Max Alenga got very far forward. He did make a piercing run. Pass just didn't find him. He's got plenty of running in his legs, that's for sure. Max Alenga, he has a Australian rules football background. He's a regular in this Redlands United NPL side. Santana hesitates against Madden, but Darcy Madden wins that duel. He's happy to take the foot off the gas pedal a little bit, just settle into things. McGowan, Gibbs. Gibbs gets it back. Hitchcock now gets his head up. Looks to be playing a defensive role there. Jossa Hitchcock, former Brisbane City member, sitting in that holding role, just pulling the strings at the moment. He was very well forward for the goal. As this game's worn on, he's got a few nice touches on the ball. It's quite a prolific midfield Peninsula Power do boast. They all complement one another, that's for sure. And now the likes of Eldemariam and Brenton Fox, along with Kane Gibbs. Very challenging for opposition teams to tolerate at times, as Alenga can't quite control it off the shoulder. And again, Peninsula Power get the free kick. They've had a few tonight. Jack Powers has been on their side. He's been happy to give them away. Redlands United have had the odd one or two of their own. And they'll pick one up here and talk about controlling the game. Well, Jack Powers brings out an early yellow card for Jamil Roberts. Not wasting any time. I'm sure he'll be very aware of the last time these two teams met and the antics that went on. As I mentioned, a fiery finish in round 11. Now looking to keep a lid on things here in the final round of the day. Rising is Hitchcock, and Noah Hitchcock lands very awkwardly. Lockie Hunter also in the firing line. There was an athletic jump from Noah Hitchcock. Max Alenga was in there too. An immediate concern. It was Darcy Madden who was asking for assistance from the get-go. Of course, Noah Hitchcock in his 5th season with Redlands United. Just colliding with Lockie Hunter. Both being attended to at the moment, and we certainly hope both are okay. It was a rough tumble there for Noah Hitchcock, and hopefully he'll be back up and moving soon. We'll certainly keep an eye out. Just an update in the Rovers Gold Coast Knights game. Still 0-0 after 22 minutes. And of course, the final piece to this puzzle is Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Mathematically, they are still a chance to make the top 6 coming here this afternoon. However, it's going to take one mighty turn of events, as they do have a goal difference of -8 and would require a number of different results to go their way. As I mentioned, Rochdale Rovers and Knights locked up at 0-0. And plenty of games going along. FQTV Olympic have a 3-0 lead over Eastern Suburbs. Brisbane City are hosting Gold Coast United, and it's United who have a 1-0 advantage there. And of course, Lions and Moreton Bay at 0-0-2. So plenty of games rolling across this Saturday evening. And of course, it is in the build-up to finals, where Suncorp Stadium has been announced, and you can grab your tickets very shortly for the big event on Sunday, the 17th of September. We'll all be there for sure. And also just an update, Sydney United faced off against Brisbane Roar this afternoon at 2 p.m. and the Roar ran away 5-0 winners in the Australia Cup round of 16. So they will of course advance. Sydney United got the better of the Brisbane Roar last year in the Australia Cup and eventually knocked them out. However, Roar have turned the tables and come away with a 5-0 victory as that competition comes towards its close. Of course, around to 16, where Gold Coast Knights will face Western Sydney United. Rather, Western United, that is. throw Sydney in there. They'll play Western United in the round of 16 Gold Coast Knights. Isn't too far around the corner. And just to run through the final series as we still wait here, and we do wish Noah Hitchcock all the very best, of course, as Malachi Love Samira, along with the rest of Redlands United, surround the young man who is receiving some attention. Lockie Hunter also still there with the medic. And we'll just keep you updated with everything we hear. As I was alluding to, the final series starting next weekend. In week 1, whoever finished first and second automatically advanced to the preliminary final, and third will play 6th as fourth hosts 5th in the official semi-finals of season 2023. Week 2 will see first be the lowest ranked team in the preliminary final, as second will play the highest ranked team in the preliminary final in week 2. So you'll have 2 semi-finals followed by 2 preliminary finals, and then that will make up our 2 teams to go head-to-head at Suncorp Stadium in the grand final. Again, mark it in your calendars. Sunday, the 17th of September. At one of the greatest football stadiums, rectangular stadiums in the Southern Hemisphere. That will be a very special occasion. And it looks as though Noah Hitchcock is back moving again, as Lockie Hunter just has a brief moment with him. That is good news for Redlands, but more importantly for Noah Hitchcock. As I mentioned, it was a harsh fall. And we're unsure as if he will continue for the remainder of the game. They do have a strong bench, Redlands United. Nicholas Terry, Sean Kennedy, Luke Turner, along with Joshua Marinko and Chase Silich. Joel De Cruz is also on the bench this evening. However, he is the reserve goalkeeper. And we're just getting official word there. Luke Turner has replaced Noah Hitchcock. And you can see the number 19 on your screen up front. So Noah Hitchcock slotted in at the centre back position, but Luke Turner straight up top along Gil Santana. He signed with Redlands United in 2022. That was his first season at the club, now in his second. And we wish Noah Hitchcock all the best, as we hope he's okay. I'm sure he's in very good hands. As Kane Gibbs is getting very excited. Thought he'd made a fantastic run, which he really had. He was just a little too quick with it all. Malachi Love Samira was hoping for his pass to come off. However, the flag did rise. And now Govan will send it back the other way, straight up the park. Hitchcock gets boot to ball. Now it's eventually dealt with by Pearcey. Turner just loses his bearings, as it may take him a moment to get into the swing of things. He's sitting on the bench for the first half an hour. Now finds himself in the thick of things. As Gibbs had a handful of Broderick's jersey. And he's spotted there by Jack Powers. And they'll get another free kick, Redlands United. And it's going to be Jack Skinner to take it. He already put in a very threatening one from a similar distance earlier in this first half. This time it curls towards the back of the line. Here's Turner. And from the outside of the boot, Pearcey tried to manufacture a shot. He eventually did, just didn't have the accuracy on it nor the power. And Lockie Hunter was happy to watch that sail away. Team up there on Kane Gibbs. Broderick along with Skinner. Lee picks out Brent. Now Dylan Brent's delivery, looking for Alterio, and Dean Alterio halves the deficit with a lovely goal just after the half an hour mark. Dylan Brent delivering the ball. It just bounced in front of Darcy Madden. And Dean Alterio was right on the spot to get the last touch. To get the first goal for Redlands United. Coming 31 minutes after the opener. Now we certainly have a game on our hands. 0-0 still over at Rochedale Rovers, Gold Coast Knights. 2-1 Peninsula Power v Redlands, and it's important that Power claim the 3 points, as they won't want to be relying on other results. And the yellow card coming out for Opendisano. So Jamil Roberts and Aaron Opendisano both on yellows. We'll keep that in the back of our mind. The longer this game progresses, it may become an intriguing point. Of course, suspensions will be the last thing that Peninsula Power want to receive as they vie for a spot in the finals, and they wouldn't want to be going to that first semi-final undermanned. Fox receiving off the throw, up into Sano, cutting away, and now Cronin. He did get the shot away, just wasn't his best work. Force a save from Ryan Govan. Sam Cronin again popping up in a threatening area. Wore the number 23 at the beginning of the year. He wore the number 23 in the corresponding fixture between these two. But now in the 7. And now Fox just can't trap that ball. Luke Turner. Bring it back the other way, and Darcy Madden has Dean Alterio to deal with. Madden does well. Resorting back to Hunter. They pass their way out of trouble, Peninsula Power. They've done that on a number of occasions tonight. And Malachi Love Samira was just getting through the gears. But Ryan Govan, awake and aware to the threat that Peninsula Power's number 18 possesses. One man who received good news during the week but isn't here tonight is Reece Messina. He, along with Michael McGowan and Kane Gibbs, all re-signing for 2024. That's great news on the Peninsula for not only the club, but the three individuals in McGowan, Messina and Gibbs who have locked their spot in for next year. Of course, Kane Gibbs signed with Peninsula Power at the beginning of this year, so in his first season with the club. Reece Messina, unfortunately not available tonight, as we see a bouncing ball to Ryan Govan. It's Sam Cronin, and he couldn't find Malachi Love Samira. They were hesitant to pull the trigger. And Skinner doing some defensive work, cutting out that pass. As again, Redlands' goal was exposed. We already saw Sam Cronin make them pay with a costly defensive error. And another one was threatening there. But they hold on for the moment. And Gold Coast Knights have taken the lead against Rochdale Rovers. That game at Underwood Park, 1-0 to Knights. So that takes the pressure off Peninsula Power for the moment. Now Emoto picks up the corner. He had the support of Luke Turner, along with Gil Santana and Dean Alterio. And now it will be that man, Rio Emoto, from the set piece. Picks up Skinner. Emoto gives away the foul. It was Solomon Weldemariam, who got the touch in the end and just skinned Rio Emoto. And then Emoto had to resort to fouling the Peninsula Power man. Malachi loves Samira. Again, anticipating the bounce of the ball. He's very elusive, as Lockie Hunter was well out of his depth there. Coming very far forward. Did a tremendous job to get the ball on his head as they give another free kick away, Peninsula Power. Redlands have just slowly been gaining the ascendancy. Of course, a goal to go with it. Dean Alterio getting the touch at the back post after a Dylan Brent cross. Peninsula Power will have to be aware here as Lockie Hunter decides to punch things away rather than catching that size 5 ball. Kane Gibbs lifts things over the top. Well, Demariam was in the back there with Michael Lee. Unfortunately, Waldemariam hands over the foul. Govan. Roberts Brent from the throw. Goes long. Hitchcock. And Fox just ran out of room. Extended leg, not enough to keep the ball in play, but they have it back here through Hitchcock. Gibbs spots the space in front of him, and then Broderick cuts off the delivery. There's a lovely placed ball there from Kane Gibbs. So half-time just around the corner, but it will be interesting to see how much added time the referees do provide after the lengthy delay with Noah Hitchcock, and rightly so. Players' welfare first and foremost. But we will be holding a keen eye as to how long they will add on top of the first 45 minutes. As Malachi loves Samira. Can't get around Piercy. Brent spots Skinner. And Jack Skinner doesn't get the better of Hitchcock. Now it's Malachi Love Samira. And he wasn't able to get the shot away. You thought he was going to pull the trigger at any moment. But Redlands deal with the danger. Brenton Fox just involved in a physical challenge. He was backing his way into Piercy. And James Piercy costing his side the free kick, and now they'll have to hold out this Peninsula Power side as 45 minutes are up. We're into the added time. Ryan Govan had Madden flying across his path, but he did it exceptionally well there, the Redlands United keeper, formerly a part of Olympic Football Club in 2019. And Kane Gibbs instantly apologising for the challenge on Dean Alterio, but he will also go into the book, so that's 3 Peninsula Power members who are on a yellow card. Kane Gibbs, Aaron Opendisano and Jamil Roberts. So they'll have to watch their back moving forward, those 3. And every player is on notice, of course, too. You step across that line and you will be dealt with from Jack Powers, as he has total control of this match. And Desano throwing it all the way back for Lockie Hunter. Darcy Madden. That's some fleet-footed skill work. Gibbs. The outside of the boot. Govan sweeps it up. There's Dylan Brent. Gets it forward for Santana. And we see another foul here. This time it's Jamil Roberts, who is already on a yellow card, giving away the free kick. Rio Emoto feeling the full effects of that challenge. As we are into the 48th minute, which is coming to an end now. Cronin. Papatisano keeps the ball in play. And then Cronin and Papatisano just can't quite manage to link up. Alterio. Turner. Alterio back to Turner. Broderick. Alenga. Trying to pick out Dean Alterio. So it will be a lengthy addition of added time. Of course, having a long pause just before the half an hour mark. Due to the collision between Lockie Hunter and Noah Hitchcock. And then just after that break in play, Dean Alterio got on the board for Redlands. And they'll want one more here. If they can take things into half time at 2 apiece. That'll be handy for Daniel Varma in the away side. I'll have a corner here to try and force an attempt on target. Create something from this opportunity. Movement in the box as the hand goes up. And it was a very short corner aimed in at that front post, and it will be another one. So Peninsula Power don't fully deal with the danger. It was a bit messy in there. Max Alenga was the man to get the touch on it for Redlands, but the Power player eventually got the final touch. That's a lovely corner. It's off the post. And you wouldn't believe it. James Pearcey with the opportunity, but denied by the woodwork. Here it is again. Hunter was lost in the pack, and James Pearcey got low, made contact with the ball, but unfortunately it didn't find the net. They've got another corner now as the pressure is really on Peninsula Power. McGowan gets it away. Alterio feeds it back into the penalty area. Jack Powers looks at his watch as it is the 52nd minute of this half. Quite some time added on. Turner. Pearcey. Brent. Emoto. And now McGowan. Getting right behind that one. Lee and Skinner have a game of their own. And now Roberts trying to turn the corner. Of course, that touch coming off Rio Emoto. So many of the other games at half-time on the final day of the regular season. But this one still rolling through the minutes as Santana earns another corner. They just keep on piling up for Redlands United. Attack after attack, corner after corner. And things really turned for them after that first goal from Alterio. Can they find another? Hunter again punching. Alterio was in two minds. And now Madden will put it into touch as Peninsula Power take a 2-1 lead into halftime. Redlands United hit back thanks to a Dean Alterio goal. But the second 45 minutes coming your way straight after these messages. Don't go anywhere, as this is the final day of the NPL's Queensland season for 2023, with finals coming up in September.
These players, they want more. They want to step off that field and win.
Just when Australia was crying out for a hero, they found one. Matildas now get to measure themselves against world's footballing elite.
Till we outrun.
Keep it going, we're not done till it's done all the way through.
Till the pain pays off. Till we make you roar. Till we tell a bigger story. Till we settle the score.
Don't mess with it.
Till we stop them all.
You can't beat the best.
Till we do you proud.
We not like the rest.
We're not done.
Till it's done.
How do I feel this time? What's going on?
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Round 22 of the National Premier League Queensland competition. Peninsula Power 2, leading Redlands United 1.
Welcome back to the second half between Peninsula Power and Redlands United. As half-time has been and gone, it was a very quick break. Right back into the action here at AJ Kelly Park, of course. Goals to Joyce Hitchcock and Sam Cronin gave Peninsula Power a 2-0 lead in the opening 12 minutes, but then Dean Alterio fired back in the 34th minute to give us a game and give us a great ending to what has been a fantastic regular season of the National Premier League's Queensland. Of course, every game kicking off at the same time tonight, so no matter what you pick on that channel of yours on FQTV, I'm sure it's going to be a good one. However, the battle and the goal for Peninsula Power is to make that top six, which they are doing at the moment. As I mentioned, 3 points gets the job done. Irrelevant of how Rochdale Rovers perform against Gold Coast Knights, which is 1-0 to Knights at the moment, so that is a positive for Power. But in saying that, Redlands had a great end to that that first half. They really did come into their own, and after that goal to Alterio, they picked up the pace and really put the pressure on Power, which they're doing here again to start off the second. Broderick jumping every which way. Now it's Dylan Brent, who looks to control things, and he keeps the ball in play, quite surprisingly. It looked like he was running out of real estate. And now Piercy goes to ground, but Kane Gibbs picks up the ball. Malachi Love-Samira in support. Love-Samira leaves it. And now the shot from Solomon Weldemariam goes into the back of the net, but we have a whistle. And it may stand as Solomon Weldemariam gives Peninsula Power their third. Just confusion for a moment as James Piercy is still on the ground, as we can see on screen. So Solomon Weldemariam finished off the move, but in the sequence to the goal, James Piercy went to ground as Kane Gibbs turned out of the challenge, and he hasn't moved. Already Noah Hitchcock is the man who won't take any part in the rest of this match, as he was forced off after a heavy knock with Lockie Hunter. And now it's James Piercy in trouble. 4th season with Redlands United. And he's a juniors coach at the club as well. Hopefully it's nothing serious, as he picks up the pieces and he's attended to. Hopefully it's back up and running, as we never like to see this. And Noah Hitchcock, the centre back, James Piercy, the other centre back. So hopefully they don't lose both of their centre backs, Redlands United. That would be catastrophic in terms of the rest of this match. However, Piercy is back up and moving, so hopefully he's A-OK to continue. We'll just have to wait and see as play is restarted. And Peninsula Power grab their third. 3 different goal scorers. And Will Demarian, the third of the lot. Of course, it was Piercy who reeled out of that challenge. They do lead the aerial duels and defensive duels categories in the National Premier League Queensland. They average 40 per 90 in the aerial duels. Rather, they average 56 per 90. The league average is 40 per 90. So a 16-point lead there in the aerial duels stat category. And of course, in the defensive duels, teams are averaging 76 per 90 in the National Premier League's Queensland. They are in first with 80 defensive duels per 90 minutes. So they're not afraid to throw their body around and upset the apple cart. They're also fourth in pressing intensity. So defensively, they certainly get through a mountain of work as Piercy is back out there at the moment. May not be showing on the scoreboard tonight and may not have shown throughout the year, but one thing's for sure, you can't question their effort. Redlands United, those 3 stats are very effort-based. And they certainly bring that and more as they earn themselves a free kick here. A solitude stance from Jack Powers as we see Turner going to ground first. Michael McGowan eventually hit the deck and he wasn't happy at all with the decision, but we'll have to live with it. Again, Jack Skinner. Decides to take it on. He filled just about everyone as he was shaping to bend it into the area. However, he eventually took it on and over the top it went. Not one of his best shots, Jack Skinner. He's had 47 shots in season 2023. He averages 2.32 shots per 90 minutes, which puts him 8th in the National Premier League's Queensland. So he will pull the trigger, that's for sure. Unfortunately there, this time it wasn't to be as Jack Powers looking for assistance as to whether that ball crossed the line or not. Play on is the call. Well, Demarian can't get around the body of red. Now it's Fox leading the line with Malachi Love Samira. It looks as though we can just about put a line through Sunshine Coast Wanderers as Jamil Roberts. That wasn't far off. One touch and then bang. And Ryan Govan got across to make the stop. Some terrific goalkeeping by the number 1 for Redlands. Here it is again, and Govan watches it go over the top. As I was mentioning, Sunshine Coast Wanderers may be done and dusted for season 2023 as Brisbane Roar just equalised, making their task all but very impossible, to be fair. It's a goal difference of -8, and they currently sit 8th. To get into that top 6, they'll need to jump Rochdale Rovers and Peninsula Power, which doesn't look like it'll be happening, as we see the result here in the favour of the Power. Santana along the byline. It was a good run. Lockie Hunter picks it up very coolly and takes his time assessing his options as to where he wishes to play out from. Of course, he was involved in that collision with Noah Hitchcock, but okay to return. Cronin. Fox. Away for Weldemariam. Now Malachi loves Samira. The ball played back across. It was Alenga getting things a little wrong there. And Govan had to be awake and aware, as that ball could have ended up in the back of the net. So while we have a moment, it seems as though Josar Hitchcock has been taken off, as Josip Milicevic is the man to replace him. Wearing the number 13, Josip Milicevic, as he stands inside the penalty area at the moment, and will be ready for another corner to be whipped in by Jamil Roberts. The first one just not up to standard. Here it is again. Govan punches it as he got over the top of the pack. Santana couldn't find the pass. Luckily it lands at the feet of Redlands United. Roberts miscues the clearance. Now Skinner. Spent 2020 with Brisbane Strikers, did Josip Milicevic. And he joined Peninsula Power from the Brisbane Raw Youth. So just about a like-for-like replacement, as Milicevic will hover around that 6th position in the midfield. Fox couldn't quite rise high enough, and now Weldemariam gets rid of it. Santana looking to put some pressure on Lockie Hunter. Away it goes. And Kane Gibbs just has a few words with himself, as he wasn't happy with the way he controlled that ball. Electric and energetic player, Kane Gibbs. Really provides a lot in that midfield for Peninsula Power. He too was also a part of the Brisbane Royal Youth system, coming through the ranks. As well, Weldemariam. Still going Weldemariam, laying it off. And then Rio Omoto, all alone, was able to chest it down and find a teammate, but Power have it back. Milicevic, Apetisano. Gibbs, here he is, Kane Gibbs, coming to the floor. Fox, Malachi loves Samira, Weldemariam! Bang, 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 they put it together like a puzzle, do Peninsula Power. And Weldemariam just putting it wide. exciting play from Peninsula Power. Finished off by Weldemariam. He didn't quite get the finish, but it was a well-struck shot, just lacking the accuracy. Of course, Redlands United, as I touched on earlier, they've done a tremendous job this year after being promoted in season 2022. They won the premiership by 2 points, receiving 47 points from 20 games. And they won their semi-final against Southwest Queensland Thunder, 3-1. And then, of course, that grand final where they knocked off Rochedale Rovers, coming back from a 2-0 deficit. Dylan Brent with the winner. And as for Peninsula Power, well, their history in the National Premier League's Queensland, it's quite a long one, of course. 2019, in recent times, finished third, lost the semi-final to Gold Coast Knights, 2-1 on that occasion. And then in 2020, they were named the premiers by 5 points. However, they lost their semi-final against Lions 4-1 that night at AJ Kelly Park. Of course, Lions going on to win the grand final that year. And then in 2021, it was again Lions they ran into in the semi-final after being named premiers again by 5 points. So a mirror image of 2020, and Lions knocked them off 1-0 in a dramatic game again at AJ Kelly Park. And again, Lions went on to win it in 2021. As we just hold a moment here for a moto, and Santana has his shot saved. Some tremendous defense by Peninsula Power despite holding a 2-goal advantage. Desperate on their line. Now it's whipped in again. Santana turning every which way. Skinner receives the pass. Can they find another shot on goal and put themselves back in the contest? Santana, Skinner, it was just behind him. Some brilliant play. But now Peninsula Power spring back into life. Here's Malachi Love Samira. Weldemariam, Fox. And Fox's ball lets down the attack. Game just starting to open up. Gibbs. Still going, Kane Gibbs. And then his pass had the right intention. It's Cronin. Opened up his body, but didn't quite grab a hold of that. Really going through the gears, Peninsula Power. Moment by moment, have things ticking over quite nicely. Weldemariam with a shot that came off a lovely bit of work, and now another shot. From Sam Cronin. Here's a moto. Now Dylan Brent. Back for Imoto. Rio Imoto pulling out the party tricks. Jamil Roberts does exceptionally well. Brent's balling in again. Alterio. Broderick. Well, some real threatening stuff from Rio Imoto and Angus Broderick on either flank. Just not quite coming together. Now it's a corner for Redlands as they line up on the top of the area. Imoto whipping it in. And Lockie Hunter, he's opted for the punch on a number of occasions, not willing to risk the attempt of a catch just in case the ball does fall loose. And time and time again, in similar situations, he's closed his fist. Got everything behind it. Certainly does repel the attack, that's for sure. However, it does provide Redlands with an opportunity on the ball again. Broderick turning it around the corner. Here's Madden. And Milicevic. Zamarian, unfortunately, takes the last touch. Imoto. Dylan Brent providing an op. Imoto. Brent. Again offering himself. Dylan Brent. In another advanced position. Got the assist for the goal. In the first half, Dean Alterio finishing off the cross. He's put himself in positions like that one time and time again. Just a point of difference in this Redlands attack. Now it falls for Alanga. McGowan beats Turner to the ball. We'll have to fetch another one after McGowan really got his boot behind it, put everything he had into it. It's probably ended up in the car park, if not the houses next door. Cronin, happy to flick it on. Loves Samir up furthest forward. And Rio Imoto would have been a magician if he reeled that one in. Just play momentarily stopped. Best guess is a substitution is taking place, and while we just figured that out, 2022, last season for Peninsula Power, they finished third. They lost the semi-final. Beat Gold Coast Knights 3-1. That was at Croatian Sports Centre on a Sunday night last year, and they were knocked out of the championship race. And they haven't missed the top four of the league since 2010. They finished 6th in the Brisbane Premier League back in those days. That was the last time they have missed out on finals. And it looked as though there was a possibility heading into tonight. However, at the last hour, due to moving pieces and the diligence of Football Queensland, they are now into the finals, and if the result stays the same, they will lock their spot in the 6. We see a substitution for Peninsula Power, number 17, George Earwicker, on the park, and they'll get a free kick from a very dangerous spot here. Rio Omoto going to ground. Can Redlands turn this into a goal? Moto fouled. It was again Michael McGowan. He was waving his finger, refusing to believe that the whistle had gone. And you can make the ball talk from here. 3 standing over it in Bill Santana, Jack Skinner, and Michael Lee. Lockie Hunter just checking every possible angle to ensure the wall cover as much as possible. Santana just tries to float it. Didn't hit it with much aggression at all. Trying to catch Lockie Hunter out of position, or possibly even looking for a teammate. Savage. Cronin already has one tonight. Cronin touches away from Alterio. Now Milicevic and Santana go toe to toe. Power take it quickly. Cronin, Fox, and the free kick will go this time the way of Peninsula Power, and this time right on the edge of the D. Jack Powers had a number of opportunities to blow that whistle. As first it was Piercy on Cronin, and then Broderick coming into contact with Brendan Fox. It's going to be Fox, and he lifts it over the top. A stutter in his run-up as he approached the ball. And he just couldn't find the target. They have a fantastic away record, Peninsula Power. If they do sneak in, well, they will play finals, you would assume. And depending on where they finish, they may have a home or an away final. And if it is away, they won't be complaining. They've had a fantastic away record so far this year. They've won 9, drawn 5, and only lost 1. Quite the run away from AJ Kelly Park. And in terms of their home ground advantage, well, their first win didn't come till round 10. In the National Premier League's Queensland. That was against Moreton Bay United 3 months into the season. Josh Woolley scored 2 after Will Edmonston opened proceedings in the 13th minute. So it took them a while to get going, but their record at home is 4 wins, 4 draws, and 7 losses. So not quite as solid as their away record. Of course, their biggest win coming against Eastern Suburbs only a couple weekends ago. That was a 6-0 drumming. And then their largest loss was a 4-1 loss to Gold Coast Knights earlier in the year. Malachi loves Samira scoring a bag of goals. He had 4 in that match against Eastern Suburbs. Absolutely on fire. And in his 3rd season with Peninsula Power. Doesn't have a goal tonight. However, that could well and truly change as Dylan Brent looking to swing things back the way of Redlands. Alterio. And Alterio just slipping over. Kane Gibbs coming into the action. Now it's Brenton Fox. And he was looking to get the ball away to that man, Malachi Love-Samira. It was starting to turn ominous. However, Redlands interject. And now Skinner still running despite his jersey holding him back. Dylan Brent. Santana wheels it wide. Worth the effort. And a great little ball from Dylan Brent. Picking up the loose bounce of the ball. And first time shot from Gil Santana. Former member of Logan Lightning in his third season with Redlands United. And one of their weapons up top. He's had some good moments in this match. Yet to find the score sheet as well. Brendan Fox hunting down the pass from Cronin. He just gets that one a little wrong. It has been a very long season for both these sides. You've had the league, also the Kappa Pro Series have played a part in either season for Peninsula Power and Redlands United, neither making it out of the group stage. And then the Australia Cup was the third competition to worry about. Knocked out of the Australia Cup by Lions in the 7th round were Redlands United after going down 2-1. And for Peninsula Power, they made it to the round of 32 against Wellington Phoenix. Lewis Greenwood levelled the scoreline in the 71st minute. However, Wellington Phoenix got the chocolates on that occasion. The best finish in the Australia Cup was the quarterfinals of 2022. A tremendous run for a National Premier Leagues club. Peninsula Power really shook things up last season. They'll be looking for a similar run in the finals of the NPL. They're certainly capable of it. Well, the finals probably haven't been their friend over recent times. The Premiership has certainly been the trophy they have gained the most over the last couple of years. Hopefully they can turn that tide from their perspective. I'm sure Aaron Philp, along with his coaching staff, will be gearing up to challenge every club ahead of them. There's Earwick. George Earwick, that is, in the number 17. Looking to use those fresh legs. Also, they've had the luxury of resting Hayden McHenry, Josh Woolley, all on the bench tonight, yet to play a part. Who knows if Coach Philp will bring them on to the action with what they have ahead. As the ball flashes past. Gil Santana was right there for Redlands. He couldn't make it count. He really would have put a fire into this game as Love-Samira squeezes his way through the defence, but the ball doesn't join him. Earwick backpedaling. Roberts only clears it as far as Alterio. Brent. Shut down by Gibbs. And they'll get a piggyback out of their own half. Peninsula Power, Brenton Fox earning the free kick. Signed from Moreton Bay United in his 5th season with Peninsula Power. He was a member of the Western Sydney Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners youth systems. So plenty of experience at a good level coming through the grades. Quite recently has been a regular in Aaron Phillips' side. Apart from that, lost in extra time in the Australia Cup. Peninsula Power had 2 draws prior to that, both 0-0 against Gold Coast Knights and Rochdale Rovers, and then a 6-0 win and a 1-0 win in recent weeks against Eastern Suburbs and Moreton Bay United. A shove there by Earwick. Jack Powers happy for play to continue. Skinner lining it up. And no real threat for Lockie Hunter. And they will have at least one more game left in their season, Peninsula Power. As for Redlands, well, a 3-0 win against Brisbane Royal Youth last weekend and then a 2-2 draw against City has been their 2 most recent games. They suffered a loss against Sunshine Coast Wanderers at home. And then a 1-1 draw v Gold Coast United where they picked up a point. So we see another run forward here. Broderick just losing track of that ball. And Peninsula Power happy to sit deep as they see off the remainder of this match. Right now it's Redlands bossing play at the moment. They're pulling out their game management skills. Peninsula Power have a 2-goal lead to go with the remainder of this match. They'll be hoping to hold on to that, if not add to it. There's Michael McGowan. Watches that hit the fence, and Lockie Hunter will take his time. Of course, Lewis Greenwood not a part of tonight, and Reece Messina, another one who's seen minutes in recent weeks, not in the squad. Also, Jack Hindle has played his last game for Peninsula Power in 2023 last weekend against Eastern Suburbs. It was a handy pickup that really added a lot of spark in their attack. Very pronounced figure up top for Peninsula Power. That's a silky turn from Dean Alterio. Another substitution will be made. It looks as though Aaron Albitisano will make his way off. Previous clubs were Edgeworth Eagles, Charlestown, Azuri. He's put in a mega shift tonight as it's some minutes for the youngster Asher Lee. Here in the final game of the regular season for Peninsula Power. So George Earwick and Asher Lee out there at the moment. As Aaron Phillip looks to rotate his squad. Josip Milicevic finding the pass for Fox. And now Cronin decided against the shot, trying to cut it back infield. And he'll pick up a corner. Just a little too easy as they walk through the lines of Redlands United. 2 passes and then they're away. Govan flying through the air. And it's more troubles for Redlands United. And there's another player in a lot of pain inside the 6-yard box. It has not been their night tonight. They have received so much unlucky karma as Noah Hitchcock was forced from the field, and now we have another player being attended to after James Pearcey also received treatment. It may be Pearcey on the ground. We'll just have to double check that before we jump to any conclusions. Looks as though it is James Pearcey was back up and moving. As he clutches at that right side of his. Just an update in the Brisbane City game. 4-1 against Gold Coast United. They're coming home with a wet sail in season 2023, and the game that could have potentially impacted this one was Rochedale Rovers and Gold Coast Knights. And Gold Coast Knights currently up 2-1 at Underwood Park. Just again, while we do have a moment, congratulations to Gold Coast Knights on the premiership. The first time in the club's history have they finished first. I'm sure they'll have a nice spot for that trophy. The Croatian Sports Centre that they will admire for a long time to come as they look to defend their championship status in September. Now, it's bro Derek, and Milicevic was asking for a goal kick. However, the last touch came off Milicevic, and Rio Amodo will rush over for a corner. It's taken very quickly. The ball may have still been rolling just past the flag as Amodo made contact. And Madden puts a stop to it. Here is Dylan Brent. Lee, back for Brent. Brent gets underneath it, and Madden nods it away. Lee, Skinner, Michael Lee. Brent brings it inside. He's hassled and hurried there. It was Asher Lee right on his tail. Milicevic gets it away. Gibbs goes into the challenge. Turner keeps the ball moving. Here's Santana. Gil Santana holds up the shot and doesn't earn the penalty. Michael McGowan rushes in to clear things. They're not happy with that, Redlands United. Do they have a case? He was turning away as Milicevic held up the arms, trying to convince Jack Powers that there was no foul play at all. Jack Powers just wants to get things moving once again. I'm afraid to assert his authority this evening. Gibbs, Malachi Love, Samira. That attack runs out of legs. Back come Redlands. They've had some beautiful moments. Redlands just not quite getting the shot away in time or hitting the target. They couldn't put enough pressure under Peninsula Power, while they did certainly hold passages of this game. Power did the job early with Cronin and Hitchcock before Waldemariam jumped into the action in the 47th minute to give them their third and extend the lead to 2. It has been enough tonight at home in front of a healthy crowd at AJ Kelly Park as they see off their team for a finals campaign and the quest for Suncorp. Kane Gibbs still going. What an engine. He's put his hand up tonight for Peninsula Power. Milicevic. There's no one there, just green grass. Cronin working across field. Madden clears that as far away forward as possible. Earwick. Now it's Fox. The run by Roberts. Trying to pick out Love Samira. And the youngster in George Earwick. Just getting a little too excited. Handing over the free kick. Towards the end of the 93rd minute, we had a lengthy added time period in the first half. Now again, we tick over well past the 90. Brent. Emoto. Ontario picks out Broderick. And again, Lachlan Hunter watches it flash past his sight. Emoto getting the ball back, and McGowan intercepts right on cue. Now Malachi Love Samira is away. He's in open space. Malachi Love Samira. He gets the shot away. It's off the post. Still in play to finish things off for Peninsula Power. Brenton Fox can't get there. Chance goes begging for Peninsula Power. Emoto. Brent. Broderick. Shift it from coast to coast as Broderick lands it right at Madden's feet. And plenty of high fives going around. Plenty of support in this Peninsula Power side. We see another substitution being made. It's going to be Nicholas Terry coming onto the park for whatever remains in this match. Bounces around. Milicevic eventually clears. Again, Malachi loves Samira. As Broderick to run at. The cavalry eventually arrive as Broderick does very well to stand up. Love Samira and get his boot involved. Back come Redlands. They're not done with yet. They want another goal to try and see things out for their season. Power just want the final whistle to blow as Malachi loves Samira, has his shot saved. Govan with the stop. But finals is signed, sealed and collected for Peninsula Power. How far will they push in September? Full time here at AJ Kelly Park as Peninsula Power dominate proceedings to advance into the finals. Final score, Peninsula Power 3, Redlands United 1. We'll see you in September.